Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching. Before you do anything else, like, subscribe, and share. So Anahi is back, and I know Anahi has a lot of English-speaking fans who don't know what is going on with the podcast. And I know a lot of us were excited that she's back. It's not music, but she's back and she's doing something, and she's back in the public eye, and that's great for everybody who's a follower, but only for the Spanish-speaking followers. So I thought that I would do a recap of her first podcast in English. That way, for those of you who are fans and want to know what the podcast is about, sorry, I'm having trouble speaking, and what they talked about and things like that. So that's what I will do. I saw the podcast on YouTube. So yeah, Marte posted it, titled Bienvenida, Están Ahí Podcast. I guess that's the title of the first podcast. Bienvenida, which means like welcome. And yeah. So let's get started for the with the recap. But before you do, please like and subscribe, and share with all your Anahi friends who don't speak Spanish. All right, so the podcast just talks about, you know, that she's been busy, super busy since she's been 2 years old. She started working at the age of 2, which is like the son of her age. The age of her son. Oh my God, I can't speak today. So she's been working since 2 years old up to, I think she said 27, just nonstop, project after project. And I remember because we're about the same age, and I grew up watching like a lot of the stuff she did. So yeah, at every age I saw her, and I think I'm 37. I think she's maybe a year older or a year younger. But she has been in the spotlight since forever. I remember watching Chiquilladas, her movie La Mochila Azul, the soap operas. There's a scene where she gets slapped by Laura León and she calls her cochina. Very iconic. So yeah, she's been doing it since forever. And because of that, she's missed out on a lot of things like camping trips with school, birthday parties, Mother's Days, just different events that everybody else gets to go to, and that she didn't because she was always on the go, working and on the road. And then she also talks about the pregnancy. And I think at this point, her sister, Marichello, joins her, which I'm assuming they're going to do this together. I didn't get that very clear, but I think in the end they said that they will be doing more of it. Well, I guess I'll go just on my notes so I don't like jump out of order. But she talks, she talks about why she chose to announce her pregnancy through the magazine. And she said that because she did that with her first pregnancy, and she has it like framed. So she wants the second kid to have the same, you know, I guess, memento, that way they both have their own magazine, which is cool, I guess. She's having a boy. The name's going to be Emiliano, and she found out the gender by having a blood test work because she couldn't wait to the ultrasound. She also talks about her book, Valiente. She says she wrote it when she was pregnant with Manu, but now she goes back to it and uses it for recipes or tips or things of that nature. So she's resorts back to the book, and her sister's like, so it's kind of you giving yourself, you know, tips and, you know, consejos. How do you say consejo in English? Advice. It's like you giving yourself advice. And like, yeah, they kind of laugh about it. And this is what I didn't like about this podcast. And I don't know if it was her actual podcast or this person who uploaded it and then they added this extra stuff. So there's like fake laughs, sound effects, which I think, in my opinion, are not needed and actually are a little bit distracting. It just sounds fake, and I don't like that. So, I recommend, there's no need for the fake laughs or the sound effects. If people are gonna laugh, they're gonna laugh on their own, and we don't need to hear that. At least in my opinion, I don't like to hear that. And also another suggestion, I think people want to see you, so I think you should be recording this podcast as well and then uploading it to a YouTube channel. Second suggestion. So when she goes to the doctor to find out the gender of her child, she tells the doctor that she doesn't want to know, to tell her the sister. So the sister finds out the gender she knows and plans this whole, I guess, a gender reveal party, which I'm against gender reveal parties, because what if you grow up and then you're not okay with the gender you've been assigned and you don't associate with that gender? Especially now that I think gender is more fluid and there's just not boy or girl. A lot of us fit in that middle spectrum that don't associate with one or the other. So in my mind, I don't like gender reveal parties. I get why people who are pregnant, you know, want to have them, but I think it goes against with forward thinking and progression. But that's just my opinion. She had one. Her sister knew what it was. Her brother was very happy from what I hear. So she talks about how the pregnancies changed. When she was first pregnant with Manu, you know, she got to relax a lot, got to take it easy. Now that she's the mother, she still has to tend to him and not, you know, have all that time to herself like she used to. And her son still wants to play certain games that they play that she can't do because of the physical aspect of it. He's a big kid. She talks about how her husband grounded her and helped her, you know, not be so guarded and not so worried about just being that perfect image that everybody saw. And she gets really choked up about that part. And she also talks about that when they were kids, her and her sister used to play that they had a radio show, which coincidentally, I used to do the same thing with my aunts. And I would sing the songs on the radio and we'd have like discussions. So I think maybe all kids play that. But growing up, radio was a huge part in our household. You know, everywhere we went, the radio was on. Now there's more options, but yeah. She talks about how she doesn't know the direction of where this podcast is going. She's kind of just starting it, venturing it out with her sister. I think is going to be continually on it, and just to see where it takes them. And they also said that the best things are not the ones that you plan so much, but the ones that you just let organically flow. So I've gathered that this is going to be out every Thursday, but today is Wednesday, so I don't know if this came out last week or if they changed the date. I don't know. But it was about 27 minutes or so. It was nice to hear her again and to have her back in the spotlight. Like I said, I would have liked to have seen this, to see the interaction, the setup. So hopefully they do that. I mean, this was just episode 1. She sounds really happy. I'm really happy for her, but there's questions that I want answered that haven't been answered yet. So, like, has she been recording music even though she's pregnant? Like, how many songs are recorded? Who has she been working with? When does she plan to come back? Who is she going to work with? Who does she want to work with? Things like that. But tell me what you think. Tell me what you thought of the podcast if you heard it. If you weren't able to hear it, or if you were able to hear it but not understand, hopefully this recap gives you a glimpse of what it was about. And leave it all below in the comments, any questions or what you think she should talk about, or if you, I don't know, leave it all down there. And anyway, she's back, guys. Están Ahí. Anahi is back, and I will be coming back every time she does this podcast to give you the recap in English so you know what's going on. And that's it for now. Adios y bye.